we're back and we're doing the AL and NL Central today. So we'll start with the AL Central.
Okay.
We're going to go over Steve's predictions and see where they're at. So AL Central, Detroit, you had them breaking even, 81 and 81.
That's about right. They're improved. They're going to improve over last year. I like Detroit.
Okay, do you think they'll win that division?
No, I don't.
You do not think
They
they'll
are
win the
not good
division?
enough to win that division. They don't have the horses.
Okay, so at 81 and 81, they'll be breaking even.
Yeah, that's about right.
But right now, currently, as of today, filming this video, they are 6-1. So they're off to a really good start.
Good start. It's a good
They're off to
start.
a good start. So, but they're not. You don't think they're winning the division?
No, not at all. I mean, they just don't have. Like I said, they've got great first baseman Spencer Torkelson. Is that his name? Yeah, Torkelson. That guy looks. Yeah, he was the #1 overall pick in 2020, and he's my perfect example of a guy that was ruined by the COVID year.
Oh, okay.
#1 pick in 2020. Remember, he's in college. They shortened the season. He only played 20 games, not even 20 games in college.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's no minor league season. Remember, they canceled the minor league
They
season.
cancel it. So
That poor guy lost all his development right there. #1 overall pick. How many games played? 0.
okay.
Yeah, so
We'll see.
I mean, what does he do? He does that all the time, man, because he doesn't have the pitch recognition.
Well, maybe he'll get it together.
I don't know. See, what happens is, no matter what you fast track, right? First #1 overall pick, right? You're not gonna stick that guy down there for 4 or 5 years, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
brought him up too quick because he had 0 playing time because of COVID. So I think that he's he's one of those guys. He's going to be good, but he won't be great because
Okay.
you can't learn at that level, not at the major league level.
Okay. All right.
That's why Outman's going to be losing you a bet.
No, Outman will be winning me some dinner. So
Watch the previous video, you know what we're talking about.
yeah. So next up, Cleveland. Now you said they would go 72 and 90. So you said
Y'all think I'm crazy, right? But here it is. I mean, who was their manager? Terry Francona.
the players still have to play. So see, I think he may slightly overrate managers. I still say the players have to play. Now, manager does matter, but
I mean, why don't you just go and get your Dave Roberts poster on your wall there? I mean, you don't know how much we hate Dave Roberts here in LA. I mean,
I don't hate him, but he kind of bothers me a little bit. But sometimes, some games I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
yeah.
But
And we all say it about this guy. I mean,
but I'm just a joke.
second guess that. Yeah, we
I'm just a
second
guy,
guess,
just a guy looking and talking crap. He's
Yeah.
the professional. So
Yeah, but I'm just saying, with no Terry Francona, I just don't see them.
So you said 72 and 90, but right now they're 6-2. They're second in the division right now. So they're all. I mean, this is a good start. I mean, obviously slumps can happen, but this is a good start.
I mean, it's a good start, but they don't have the horses either. I mean, and they don't have the manager. I mean, you gotta have somebody leading the troops, and nobody over there in Cleveland.
But the team you have winning the division, which is the Minnesota,
last year's division winner.
that you picked them you picked them to go 86 and 76, which is pretty good. Not Dodger.
I think that's what they're gonna be because they're not a great team.
Not Dodger good.
Well, no, but there's nobody else in that division. That's the problem. There's Detroit and there's Cleveland and there's Chicago in there. I mean, they've got some pretty loud. I know who the other one is, and you're going to get to them, and I have them as the most improved team in the league. So, we'll get to that when he gets to it. But you're talking about Minnesota.
They're currently 3-3.
We hate their shortstop, right? I mean, he's the most hated guy here in LA. I mean, they banged the trash cans for that guy, and he kept on winning, right? That, we're talking about Carlos Correa, of course. He was we're talking about, this guy was a #1 overall pick. Torkelson was 2020s, I think. He might have been 2018 or so. The #1 overall pick.
A lot of stuff going on there.
Well, we're near the airport.
Yeah.
But I just see Carlos Correa. I don't like him, but You know?
So you're sticking with that? You think they're going to win that
There's
division?
no other team in that division, right? Who do you guys get? I mean, Cleveland? No.
Well, Kansas City
I like.
is 4-4 right now. So
I like them. They are the one team I think is going to go up about 15 wins this year. They were awful last year. I think they lost over 100 games last year, which is horrible.
You picked them to go 75-87.
Okay, but still, that's probably, like I said, 15 wins. I mean, they were horrible last year, so I think they're going to be good. They got one of the best young players in the game, Bobby Witt Jr. I don't know if you remember his dad.
That sounds familiar. But I was thinking, do you think if they put Caitlin Clark on the team, they'd improve?
Caitlin Clark. Why do I not know who Caitlin Clark is?
Oh my God, this guy doesn't know who the best college women's basketball player is.
Oh, she's the gal that
Right,
Iowa?
Iowa,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Oh, so you know her as the Iowa gal.
Yeah,
Okay.
she shoots them from deep,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
she
yeah.
shoots them way like Curry does, right?
So there's another joke that just goes.
What was the joke? What was even the joke?
That just they're putting Caitlin Clark in anywhere, and she'll make things better.
Oh, I see. I still don't get the joke. You know, I mean,
I don't get it anymore either.
Duke has a good. Who's the gal that? Who's the? There's another good gal basketball player right now.
Amy Schumer? No, I'm kidding. She's. I'm joking. I don't know. I don't really know.
There's another gal that's really good. Paige something. Paige Beckers, I think that's her name.
I don't know.
She's.
I don't really watch
pretty good.
women's
I don't either, but
college basketball.
I watch ESPN all day, every day. So they're force feeding it into me, you know.
So
I think her name is Paige Becker. She's good too. She 20-some points a game.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, there you go.
I don't know why we're talking about women's basketball.
Because of my bad joke
I
that
can't
went
stand
over.
women's basketball. Actually,
Well, I actually watched the game last weekend. It was actually quite enjoyable, to be honest with you.
Really?
Much improved. It's the speed they play faster, especially Iowa. They move the ball faster.
Like
it's not like slow motion. It's actually improved a lot.
Well, maybe I should watch it.
Maybe watch a game.
I think that the showdown is this weekend. I think
Right, because they play in the Final Four games today.
And Caitlin Clark.
Well, they just played a game. I know they were up by 1 point right before we started.
That might have been the game. I might have missed.
They were up by 1 point. It was like 4 seconds.
Who are they playing?
Damn it, I forgot.
That's
That's so much we know. Yeah.
Women's basketball.
Yeah.
All right, get back to
Okay, so
get back to the baseball. Yeah.
Okay, so Chicago White Sox is the last team in that division. You picked them to go 67-95.
Wow, I was that generous, huh?
Yeah, well, currently they're 1-6.
Yeah, well, they're gonna be bad. They're the only team that you have. For those who don't know the bet, it's A's are the worst team in baseball. They're gonna finish in last. They're gonna be. Last in the majors.
He thinks they're gonna have the worst record.
They're gonna have the worst record in the
and
majors.
I say they're not. That's my second team.
That's where that's Chinese dinner on.
Yeah, Chinese food where he's gonna have to buy for me. And thank you, Oakland.
I mean, Oakland is. And did you just hear that they're gonna play in Sacramento?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's bad. And I heard like 3 years they're gonna play there.
Yeah, until 2027.
What is up with that?
I don't know, but they're still not gonna have the worst record.
That's the one team that's gonna compete with them is Chicago. They are awesome.
So who are you picking to win this division? Minnesota.
Minnesota. I just don't see any other team being over 500. You said I had somebody at 500.
You had Detroit at 500.
Yeah,
they're currently leading division at 6-1.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
Okay, so we have Minnesota win. Okay, so we'll see how that pans out. Now NL Central. NL Central. You picked the Brewers to go 77-85.
Yeah, that's probably you guys all shocked at that one. The reigning Central champions, and I have them horrific. Any idea why?
I don't know, but they're currently on top of the division.
Really?
At 5-1.
Well, here's why, and he's already touched on it. But they had Craig Counsell as their manager. Now he's not a great manager, but he's a good manager.
Okay, so then the rest is up to the players.
He goes. What happens? The Chicago Cubs, who are also in this division, signed him. So they literally take him away from the rival.
Yeah.
They make him the highest paid manager of all time. So
I didn't know that.
He's not a great manager, but taking him away from Milwaukee and moving him to the rival, and I like that kind of stuff. And I think that the Cubs are going to benefit greatly. And the Brewers, who did they hire? A bench coach. And again, I just don't see how bench coaches, are expected to be as good as their regular manager was. And that's why I don't like the Astros. We went over that last time.
Yeah.
Dusty Baker, he's not there anymore. They placed him with a bench coach. I just don't see these teams that are just hiring bench coaches elevating themselves. I just don't see it. So I see Milwaukee. Remember, they traded their ace, Colin Burns, right? He went over to Baltimore, so they lost their number one guy. I just don't see Milwaukee. Although, excuse me, Milwaukee did sign Rhys Hoskins, who. You ever heard of Kevin Moss?
No.
Shane Spencer?
No.
This guy broke all their records. I mean, when he came into the league, he was hitting a home run every game. I mean, every game he was hitting a home run. This guy, Rhys Hoskins on the Phillies. And when I was younger, when baseball cards were the big thing in the 90s, there was this guy named Kevin Moss on the Yankees. And seemed like he was hitting a home run every game. He had the perfect swing. He just pulled it. Yankee Stadium has a short porch.
Perfect swing? Nobody has the perfect swing except for Ken Griffey Jr. I mean, Barry Bonds got a sweet swing too.
No. Junior's.
But Junior's got the best swing.
Junior's might have been the best. Yeah, I mean, what a swing. Wow. Just so sweet.
Yeah, I would say the most menacing swing belongs to my guy, Canseco. That's the most menacing swing. Junior has the sweetest, but sorry not to distract you from the guy you were talking about. When you said sweet swing, I said, oh, wait.
Plus, this guy, Rhys Hoskins, he was hitting a home run every game when he was with Philly when he came up. He was with Philly.
Also, it was better than Kirk Gibson's swing in the World Series. That was a terrible swing.
But that was the swing, right? For those of you who are old enough to remember that home run, we all remember where we were.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
I remember exactly where it was.
I was on the porch trading baseball cards with my friend Jimmy. Rest in peace. Yeah.
Wow, you already got friends that are gone?
Yeah, hey, that's what happens when you don't take care of yourself. But, I mean, not to say that about him, but that's just the truth of the matter.
Yes, I'm getting that age where I might have that happen. I haven't been fortunate. I haven't had anybody.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, not to turn it into a somber moment, but yeah, he's still in here. But, okay, so.
Rhys Hoskins, he's the big signing that Milwaukee had. Okay. So maybe that record is a little bit too low, but it's just I don't like bench coaches taking over for really good coaches.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he'll change the way you think about that. So, and then
we'll see.
And next up we got Pittsburgh. So you got them at 76 and 86, just doing one game less.
Yeah, I think that's about what they were last year as well. I just don't see Pittsburgh really doing much. They didn't really get. They do get O'Neal Cruz back. Remember the hype around O'Neal Cruz, man? I mean, that guy.
They're 6-2.
6-7. I mean, shortstop. I mean, wow. When we first saw him, so. I mean.
They're 6-2 right now, so they're off to a decent start.
Yeah, but it's still real early in the year.
It's real early, but when you have these kind of starts, it creates a winner's mentality. And if you start off bad, it's kind of hard to, shake the ground to get some momentum. But if you start off good, you have your slumps, but then you get back on track. But we'll see. So they're 6-2. They're currently second in the division. The Cubs, they're currently 5-2.
Got them.
And you have them winning that division.
Yeah, because of Craig Counsell. That's
at 88 and 74. So because of that manager trade.
That manager is the big difference for me. I really think that he goes from last year's division winner to them. Last year's division winner goes to where they were, so.
Okay, so we'll see.
I like it.
We'll see. And next.
What do you think about Bellinger? I mean, nice comeback, man. He was done here in L.A. He was done.
There's a lot of pressure playing in L.A.
I mean, he fell off a cliff.
Well, as L.A. fans, we're used to championships.
He fell off a cliff. I mean, he was 30. Didn't he win the MVP? Yeah, he was MVP. 39. I remember he was awesome.
He was, but.
And then.
Hey, it happens.
He hit 219 or something. He was horrible.
Hey, it happens.
But he did it well with the Cubs last year. Didn't hit 39 home runs. I think he had 27 or something. But good year with the Cubs last year. We signed a couple years. He's a Scott. But what do you think about Scott Boras? You know, every player he just didn't get signed until it was way too late. I mean, he overplayed his hand, didn't he, or no? I don't know. I mean, Blake Snell didn't, sign till what, 2 weeks before the season started.
I don't know. What is it with you and Blake Snell, man? You love this guy.
Reigning Cy Young Award winner, 2.25 ERA. I mean, that guy is left-hander. I don't see Kershaw is the best left-hander in the league anymore here.
He's no El Toro.
Oh, see, he set me up.
He's no El Toro, but hey, he's all right, I guess. He's okay.
The thing is, though, as good as Snell is, you're right, he is no El Toro. Valenzuela was amazing when he closed his eyes and that screwball, like I said to you. Willie McGee couldn't hit him at all. It was just awesome. He really was great.
Yeah. See, so hey.
He just set me up. I'm like, when did Blake Snell even come out of? I don't know why we're talking about Blake Snell. He's not in the AL Central or NL Central.
Yeah. Okay, so
who do I have here?
Reds.
Cubs go.
Reds, you had them breaking even.
Yeah, that's about right.
And they're 4-3 right now.
We're gonna see that kid. What's his name? Ellie De La Cruz. Yeah, that guy.
Hey, dude, he was on fire last year. So.
Does he have the sophomore jinx, or is he for real?
No, he's a legit athlete.
He's legit.
But I know they had that whole bat controversy.
Yeah, remember that little weird thing at the end of the bat? What was that?
I have no idea.
I remember that. And
I was at the game last year when they came to play LA. So
did he have that little thing on the end of the bat?
I couldn't tell from where I was at, but he did score. So
that guy stole a lot of it. He was.
He was.
He looked real good.
In the final,
he looked real good.
He did. And the final in that division are the Cards. So you have them at 78 and 84.
Okay, that's about right.
And they're currently 4-4.
I don't see the Cardinals. I like their new shortstop though, Mason Wynn.
Okay.
Mason Wynn sounds like a character out of Rocky.
Mason Wynn kind of sounds like Mason the Line Dixon out of Rocky 6.
Was it Rocky? Yeah. That's what it sounded like to me. Mason Wynn. Wow, that sounds like a character out of Rocky. Yeah.
All right, so
Mason Dixon. Yeah, that was a great name for that.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with your picks. It's early, but it looks like some of your projections are kind of right on, like as far as where the team's starting at. But then there's some that's surprisingly.
I think we're looking too early, though.
But I always the start shows something to me. But it's how you finish.
The Kansas City thing, I think, is something that's going to be fun to watch. I really think they're just going to improve.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt is already 30-30 guy. He might be 40-40 this year.
Okay.
They got a guy down there with the. He sounds like he's from The Godfather, Vinny Pasquantino or something like that. This guy can rake. He's first full season, I think. Maybe he played last year would be considered his first full season. But this guy looks like he's going to play. And him and Witt Jr., they look like they're going to be a combo for the next 10 years over there in Kansas City if they can sign him. And that is going to be a good duo. I think Kansas City's on the rise. Yeah, it's going to be a great year. Wow, I'm excited about it.
And I was going to tell you, off subject a little bit, but within baseball, on April 1st, they gave away like a Fernando Valenzuela jersey for the game.
Why would they do that on April Fool's Day?
I don't know. But I'm surprised it took them so long to retire his number because they just did it last year. And they retired it right by my season seat. So we got
did they really?
Yeah, so it was like right there.
Oh, wow.
So, but... I know you and I have discussed this before, but just briefly touching on it, obviously I'm a Dodgers fan, love Fernando, but I grew up watching because I was still a little bit young to understand really what Fernando was doing.
Oh, he was.
But, obviously I saw a video of him, so yeah, I recognize that he's great. But
he changed baseball for the Latino community. He really did.
Okay.
It was unbelievable.
Well, Fernando Mania, so...
It was unbelievable. When I was a kid, I don't want to get too racist kind of sounding here, but, man, when you went to the ball game, it was mostly white people that were going to the ball game
Well,
back then.
yeah, I mean-
when I was a kid, and then Fernando came along, and man,
Yeah.
Latino crowd came out, and
I mean, well,
now when you go to a game out in LA, into the Dodger Stadium, it's probably half Latino.
Probably
right?
more than that.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
it started with Fernando in 1981.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's fair. I mean, the Dodgers, when they built the stadium, they did displace a lot.
Oh
of
my gosh! If you know those stories, yeah. Have you seen those
Oh,
videos?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I didn't even know that until
Yeah.
maybe five years ago. I didn't even know that. It's like what,
Yeah. Well, and we're not going too far into that. And speaking of white guys, you know who my favorite pitcher is?
It's not Verlander, white guy.
For the Dodgers,
Oh, that's right.
Oral Hershiser.
Oral Hershiser.
That's my guy. Okay, I grew up watching that guy. So, I was watching when he did those 59 scoreless innings, and it's just, yeah. I have a
The
bunch of his
sad
cards.
thing is, I remember Oral Hershiser, and I just despise the faces that he made when he did that streak. Y'all remember this? I mean, who does that in a game? Do you know what face I just did?
Yeah, I do.
Or the one where he
Who
goes.
cares? Hey, man.
I mean, it's like,
That's
oh,
fine.
dude, man.
I mean, Fernando, hey. But as far as
hated.
Oral Hershiser is my favorite pitcher. I mean, I love Nolan Ryan too.
Oh, I should have said Nolan Ryan. Too.
Yeah, I loved him
He's
too.
great.
But as far as Dodgers go, getting to the point that I was trying to get to, we went all over the thing with the stadium and displacing and all that. But if started getting where we're trying to go to,
Sorry about that.
is better career as a Dodger, not pitching career, because I think Hershiser might have had the better career.
Oh, no question, because he went to Cleveland.
He went to Cleveland,
He went
yeah,
to
so he might
Cleveland.
have a better career, but as far as better Dodger, I mean, nobody impacted like Fernando,
No.
without question. So, but as far as better pitcher for the Dodgers, who do you think? Hershiser?
I mean, I was a kid, and Fernando, he was unhittable that year. And we all did impressions of Fernando. We
Yeah.
all looked into the sky, closed our, closed our eyes and then threw it. It was, we loved Fernando. So I don't have that attachment to Hershiser like you do. I was
Yeah.
older when Hershiser came along.
Okay.
And like I said, I didn't like, I didn't like those. So it was a great streak. And they won. That was the year they won. And
Yes.
Fernando's year was the year they won 81. Hershiser's year they won
And
in
it's
88.
88. It was 88?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, because
Look who's coming up, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the year that
Yeah, 'cause,
Gibson hit the home run.
that was 88 because the A's won in 89, right?
A's
Battle-
won in 89.
that's Battle of the Bay.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah. Okay.
earthquake. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, my
90
baseball
was the Reds. The
my,
Reds
base,
GPAs.
my baseball knowledge is all right, So yeah, but okay, so
No,
that's what- that one last
I
one.
think Fernando had the better career
As a Dodger,
and
okay,
he just
so-
made that impact. It was huge on me. Like
Yeah.
I said, I can still remember doing those impressions of him all the time. I want to say he was 8-0 that year. I think he finished with 8 shutouts that year.
wasn't this ERA like something crazy too?
No.
I thought he had a crazy
At
ERA.
the beginning it was, but
Yeah.
I think he didn't lead the league in ERA that
He
year.
didn't, but it was good though. I
I want to say Nolan Ryan led the league in ERA that year.
Well, that's not hard to imagine.
And I want to say it was really low, like 1.69.
That's what I was gonna say. It was something like really good.
No,
so-
Fernando's was I think around 2.8 that year.
that's
he
still
didn't-
good though.
Yeah, 2.8 is great, but it's
Yeah.
not. I mean, that year he started off unbelievable. And those of you who are not old enough, what happened that year was they had a strike and they lost like 50 games. They lost 50 games. They had
I
a
remember
strike.
reading about
Yeah,
that.
and Fernando was unhittable before the strike, and then after the strike, he wasn't the same.
Yeah, he
I
lost
think
a
he had a
little bit
losing
mojo.
record after
After
the strike, but
yeah.
then he pitched well in the World Series, so that made up for it. But that strike kind of messed up the momentum because he was unhittable. I mean, he was throwing. I think he threw 8 shutouts before the strike. I mean, in a half a season, 8 shutouts. Nobody throws any shutouts anymore because nobody completes a game anymore. But he was shutting out. I mean, they were goose eggs all the way through. So But then again, your guy had the greatest streak of all time with that. So,
do you think that will ever be broken?
I don't. That's
because you're saying like people don't pitch.
Yeah, they don't. You know, they're gonna only go 6 innings,
and then
they're gonna need what? Just about 10 starts. Can you imagine having 10 starts where you don't give up a run? I mean, that's
a lot. Yeah.
You know,
especially
Hershiser's would have been what, 7 or 8. So
I noticed pitchers are getting hit more, especially with the pitch clock.
Oh, and that's right. They got a pitch clock now, so that's basically a record that might not be touchable.
Broken.
Yeah,
just like Ricky's stolen base record.
That's
not touched. Yeah,
that's not going to be touched. But yeah, Fernando. I go with Fernando. You go with Hershiser.
Well, Hershiser is just my favorite, but I mean, I for me as far as career-wise, because I saw Hershiser, you know, it means more because I saw it, and that's when I first started.
That might be why it means more for me and Fernando, because he was, you know, he wasn't my guy. Joaquin Andújar was my guy back then, but you know, just that whole thing. Yeah, he was awesome.
I'm just glad he was a Dodger. So hey, you got 2 great pitchers. So
it was sad watching him though. See, he didn't have the end that Hershiser. You know, Hershiser got to go to Cleveland, and they had, you know, Albert Bell and Manny Ramirez and Carlos Baerga was there. They had so many good players over there in Cleveland, and so Jim Thome. I mean, just these mashers.
So he got to play on a good team. So
yeah. Whereas Fernando, gosh, watching him at the end there, it was batting practice. I mean, it was horrible.
Like Kershaw sometimes.
Well, you know, Kershaw seems to just fall apart in the playoffs. You ever see?
I mean right before, but
I'm
gonna have to get his jersey eventually too, because
that guy's Kershaw's first ballot Hall of Famer. We can't say
that's what I'm saying.
Kershaw, first ballot Hall of Famer. Just lately, the last 3-4 years, he just hasn't been able to stay healthy for the whole season.
He's saying it should be back in like this year, like May.
Oh, that early? I heard it was. I heard it was after the All-Star break, is what I was hearing. But if you're saying May, that's even better.
Yeah, mid-May, June-ish. But hey, I don't want to rush him back. Let's.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to need him. They're just so dominant. You know, they got Ohtani. Hit his 2nd home run of the year. Hey, what do you think about the whole baseball thing? Right?
I mean,
Gal catches it.
Yeah, I can see them pressuring her. I mean, because that's what she's saying now, that they pressured her to you know, give the ball back because he wanted it. Which, if they did, that's not right.
They knew he was going to want the ball back. It's his first home run as a Dodger, but don't we all know that's going to be worth thousands of dollars as well? I mean, I don't know how much, but
she should have held out.
Oh, don't you know that they did you hear about it? Like, from what I've heard is they said, oh, well, if you don't do this, we're not going to authenticate the ball. And you're just going to have a baseball that nobody can prove is the one that they got the video. We're catching it, right? I mean, it's me. This is the ball, you know. But they're saying we're not going to authenticate it. It's like, who does that? You know, I mean, but the Dodgers do that apparently. You know,
kind of embarrassed.
Yeah, that's
but that sucks if they did that. But
yeah, we don't know for sure. But that's what I'm hearing. I was listening to. Should I pitch the radio station there? Or, listening to the radio this morning, they two days in a row they've been talking about this travesty of this poor
lady.
Yeah, she's just,
well, maybe something else will happen.
She went to the game with her boyfriend.
Yeah, I saw it. I mean,
and then when she caught the ball, the guards come in and they take her away by herself.
Yeah, see, she probably didn't know what she was doing.
What? You know, I mean, yeah.
Well, maybe
they say two jerseys and
2 hats and
two hats, 2 jerseys. I mean, like,
man, I'd have been like, Ohtani, bro, I need.
Ohtani, you made. How much does he make? $700 million? What's that?
Like, Ohtani, I need a couple PS5s.
I don't know about PS5s.
Season tickets.
If it would have been me, man, I'd have made sure I met him.
Yeah.
I would have wanted to hand the ball to him.
Take me to Japan so I can meet some of the locals.
Well, like I said, I would at least want to meet him. I would want him to sign the ball right there. You know, I mean, not that ball, but you know, a ball. And it got to be more than just
what they gave. Well, maybe that was
a couple jerseys, and don't even meet him. And didn't they say that he said they met him, and then it turned out no, we didn't say that, and all this. It's been bad. I mean,
know.
out here in LA, it's because we're here in LA. Maybe you have
stuff.
no clue what we're talking about. But here in LA, it's
Yeah,
a pure mess.
Yeah, I try not to listen to too much of that stuff, but
I love talk radio.
yeah, no, I just see things and okay, because there's just too many opinions, too many people babbling about it like us, and all the stuff gets lost. She caught the ball. They gave her a kind of, I won't say crappy, but
that was wrong.
Crappy deal.
If they really threaten, saying, we're not going to authenticate the ball, that's just bush league. I mean, if that's true, that's bush league.
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe Fernando can do something for her.
Fernando. Oh, he's